Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Bouncing Back with Brighton. In today's episode, we're going to play through the January transfer window. Now, we've got a bit of an issue. There's like 10 games during January, so this is going to be split into two, and we'll do one live comm for each of the two episodes during this transfer period. So as you can see, we've got plenty of fixtures during the January period. We are going to start today's episode with the live comm against Liverpool. Liverpool currently sitting top of the table, 2 points clear from us, and we'll play the same amount of games. So we're pretty evenly matched, and if you can cast your mind back to the beginning of the season when we played them, I think it was at home, we absolutely smashed them 5-1. Now, I'm not expecting any sort of similar result against them this time, but they've obviously improved quite a lot over the season. And the players who maybe they've signed, or new manager or new tactic, whatever happened in this game is unlikely to happen twice. But obviously, it's the 1st of January. We do have a couple of players joining the club, one of which is a pretty major signing. So let's get to when they join the club. So the two signings that we've agreed before the transfer window have come in. The first of which is named Wissam Tamri. He's a central midfielder, Tunisian. 2.5-star current, 5-star potential. He looks incredibly well-rounded for a central midfielder. Physically, he looks great. Technically, he's got some work to do in certain areas, and mentally, again, needs some improvement. He is in the under-23 squad right now. He's getting senior Tunisian caps already. He's already got 16. Probably one of their best players, to be honest with you. We'll try and get him long game time out and see if he can develop over the course of the rest of this season. He's one that could maybe make the squad in maybe 2 or 3 years' time. He's probably not going to be one you see anytime soon. Now, the second sign we've made, Wissam was for £700,000, by the way. Juan Insfran is a left winger we've signed from Porto for £33.5 million. Now, this is a guy who we've signed to come straight in and get into the first team squad. Now, one of the major reasons why I wanted to sign Insfran is, well, he's got decent stats. He's not worldly, I'll put it that way, and he's got no room to improve either. He's pretty much at his current ability, is pretty much maxed out, but he's an inside forward on that left hand side, and we've got Sebastian Yaros, who prefers to be a winger on the right hand side. Now, in the tactic that we've got at the minute, the winger is on the left hand side and the inside forward's on the right. When Insfran's playing, we'll be able to switch that round, get Sebastian Yaros more comfortable in his natural role as a winger, and play Insfran as the inside forward on the left-hand side, which I think on the balance of our squad, I think it'll improve things quite a bit. Obviously, £33.5 million is a lot of money, but we've got still £100 million to play with over the course of the rest of the January transfer window. We are going for some other players as well. I'll actually show you him now because I do expect us to be signing him. Tjun Veerman from PSV, he's a right winger. And I basically see this guy being the backup to Sebastian Yaros and maybe even overtaking him if his stats do rapidly improve. Obviously, a lot of these players are foreign nationals, so we're going to have to make room for them in our squad, which means the likes of Mbalo, Jeremy Doku, Alvarado all see their place in the squad under threat. We will be registering Insfran no matter what, and it's probably going to be in place of Mbalo. Mbalo, he's been here a good couple of years now. I am going to transfer list him now. I don't 16 million, I wish. We'll transfer list him and we'll offer him to clubs and we'll see if we can get any sort of deal done for him. But we'll register Insfran now and you'll probably see him in the next game. Now, it wouldn't be a normal transfer window unless half of our players were wanted by bigger clubs around the world. Ryan Gravenberch is currently wanted by pretty much every major club: Real Madrid, Barcelona, Juve and AS Monaco. If a reasonable offer comes in, and I'm talking over £100 million, I would be tempted to sell him, honestly. He's not the most consistent performer for us, at least in the system that we play. And Bert Jacobs has done reasonably well when he's got the opportunity in the first team. Obviously, Mbalo's currently wanted. Diogo Aquino is wanted. He's been getting watched pretty much every game by PSG. There's been a news report of some big PSG player who wants him to sign for them. I would love to tell them where to go, but unfortunately, it's probably not going to work. He hasn't kicked up any fusses yet, and PSG haven't made any offers, so we'll see where things go with that. Darius Courtney is currently wanted for a loan deal from Seattle Sounders. It's unlikely we're going to loan him out in the January transfer window purely because he's an English national, and of course, he counts towards the squad registration. And the other one, who's been wanted pretty much all season. Benty. Benty not currently wanted by any club, but he has been getting watched all season by the likes of PSG, Man City, I think have been watching him as well. So yeah, we're going to have maybe some issues with some of the players in the squad, maybe wanting to leave. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the window goes. So in terms of Embalo, only Sevilla have come in with an offer of £16 million. We are going to look to see us get as much as possible. I don't want to push it too far and dissuade them from making any offers. So the £28 million has been renegotiated to like 17.5. We're just going to slowly go down. And there we are. There's the final offer. 20 million, 19.2. We're going to accept it. He's got no place in our squad right now. We'll get him off the wages, get that £19 million back in, and signing Insfran. It'll basically not seem like we've spent that much if Embalo's going for that amount of money. So with that, that brings us to the Liverpool game, which we will be live commenting in this episode. Big game. It really is clash of the Titans, I think, in the two. I think us two are the main contenders for the league, alongside Manchester City, obviously. But yeah, it's going to be a very, very difficult game. We are still without a few key players. The likes of Doku, Gonçalves, Bentieb and Bert Jacobs are all out for today's game. So with that in mind, this is how we're going to line up. Antonio Carlos in goal, Thomas Tavares, Nathan Wood, Mark Jolic and Carlos Julio in the defence. Jordan Henderson and Aquino will be in them centre of midfield rows. And as I was talking about earlier, we are going to play Sebastian Jaros as a winger on that right hand side, Juan Insfran as an inside forward on the left hand side, and Gravenberch in behind David Ibrahim. So I'm relatively content with that. We'll see how things go. Naturally, Liverpool have a great side. Still got a lot of the similar faces, the likes of Trent, Alisson, Andrew Robertson, Edson Alvarez. They signed him from us, didn't they? They did, 35 million. It looks like he's becoming a bit more of a regular. When they first signed him, he wasn't getting game time. Sadio Mane, Roberto Firmino, Andrea Belotti, Duncan. Is that the lad that they've just sold to Fiorentina in real life? Might be. Anyway, moving on. Let's get a kick off, see how we get on. So decent team talk from the lads. They seem fired up for this. We are away from home against Liverpool, shooting from left to right in this first half. Let's hope for a good performance. If we can manage to get a draw, I think I will be relatively happy with that. As Sebastian Jaros plays in a free kick, Gravenberch gets on the end of it, but Alisson saves quite comfortably. The highlight continues though with Thomas Tavares on this right hand side finding Sebastian Jaros. Tries to play the ball over the top back to Tavares, but unfortunately the Liverpool defence cuts it out, and now Belotti's in behind. Challenged from behind by Jolic, he manages to win the ball. How the physics worked for that, I have no idea. He must have one magical foot there. Highlight now, Ibrahim brings down the ball from a goal kick, I think it was. It was actually a great first touch. And he keeps us in possession high up the field. Carlos Julio's got the ball now on the left-hand side. If you can whip it in, Trent clears it, but oh yes. Insfran cutting in from that left-hand side on his right foot. He is a little bit jaded for today's game. He must have played quite recently for Porto, but he's got his goal on his debut, which is all we can ask for. Carlos Julio occupying the space that Insfran is obviously leaving. We'll probably see a lot more of Julio getting down that left-hand side and whipping balls into the box, similar to how we've seen Tavares do it on the other side. Might see a little bit less from him, but happy to see Carlos Julio involved. Only a few minutes to go to half-time now. Incredibly happy with how the first half's gone. Nothing really major from Liverpool in terms of highlights. And going in 1-0 up is absolutely fantastic. Insfran is struggling quite a bit, so he probably will only last another 10-15 minutes in-game. And then we'll look to get him off for the likes of Jeremy Doku or someone like that. Highlight now, Thomas Tavares on the right-hand side finds Gravenberch to Jaros. Back to Thomas Tavares, Henderson. There's a lot of Liverpool men back, so it's going to take something special. And Gravenberch goes for it, goes just wide. We are going to take him off now. I do not want him getting injured. Jeremy Doku's injured, so of course he won't be coming on. It'll be Roberto Alvarado coming in that left-hand side. 20 minutes to go, nothing really happening in the second half, which is absolutely fine by me. We're going to get Gravenberch off. We'll bring him off for Marco Boulad, not ideal, but obviously with Bert Jacobs being injured, we've sort of got to keep an eye on Gravenberch as well. We don't want them both out at the same time. Nothing really happening in the second half, and that's absolutely fantastic. We'll bring on Rodrigo Marquez up front for David Ibrahim, who's had a quiet game. 4 minutes to go in this match. If we could hold out, this will be an absolutely huge win against a potential Premier League rival. Unfortunately, there's another highlight, and Liverpool are in possession. Oh, Nathan Wood dispossesses Andrea Belotti in a dangerous area. Alvarado tries to set away Marquez, but he's not going to get there. Now Sadio Mane brings it down the right-hand side for Liverpool. Oh, Tavares. Oh my God. He has just screwed us right over. That is such a poor goal to concede. Oh, Thomas. Thomas. It all came from nothing, really. We played the ball along there, cut it out. Sadio Mane with the ball over the top. Tavares tries to head it back to the keeper rather than just clearing his lines. And Andrea Belotti gets his 7th goal of the season and equalises for Liverpool in the 92nd minute. And that's hopefully going to be Olsh's rot. Ceballos plays it in. Please get rid. There we are. We'll get rid of that. That'll be full time. Liverpool won. Brighton won. Such a disappointing way to end up drawing that match. I mean, before the game, I would have snapped your hand off for 1-1. Could have been 3 points though. So for the rest of this first part of the January transfer window, we're not going to live comm the matches. We're just going to review the results as they happen. We are going to go up to the Everton game on the 17th of January. And we'll of course update you on any transfer incomings or outgoings as we go. We've had a £25.5 million offer, minimum fee release clause offer accepted. Obviously, it's been accepted for the right winger Veerman. I think it's worth it. So we're going to offer him a contract. Rotation option he wants. We're not going to give him any wage because I am going to look to get him game time. I'm going to look to remove any wage rises or something for yearly or any sell-on clauses if he tries to include them. There's another one after international appearances. We'll remove that. I'm happy to pay him 55 grand a week. 60 grand a week. There we are. Fearman coming in. A lot of money for a youngster, don't get me wrong, 25 million and the 60 grand a week. But at this point of the save, with £100 million sitting there, it's the sort of offers that we've got to make to get anybody. Now, there is one other player that I really wanted this transfer window, but I find it incredibly unlikely. Rudy Mion. I would have sold Jeremy Doku and just had him and Insfran as our left wingers if possible. He is transfer listed by request, but only for 108 million, which is his release clause. So I've offered 67. We'll see if they accept it. Porto have just come in with an offer for Mbalo. We managed to negotiate for £26.5 million straight, no clauses, nothing like that. So we are actually going to reject the contract offer from Sevilla, and we're now going to accept this offer from Porto. Hopefully Mbalo doesn't kick up too much of a fuss about that. He doesn't, so happy days. If, and it's a big if, Aquino ends up leaving the club, I think this is our guy. £58 million would sign us Marcelo Saya. I think I might sign him now and maybe look to move Marco Bula on. 58 million. It's a lot of money. And not only is it a lot of money, it's a lot of money to have him on the bench. Would he be on the bench against Aquino? Let's just compare him. So Aquino in the blue, Marcelo Saya in the green. He's got better physicals and better speed, which I like, but vision's a little bit worse. Attacking's very similar, same as technical. Slight edge to Aquino there. It's very, very close. Aquino's a lot more defensive-minded as well. But Aquino, we could develop him as a defensive midfielder to compete with Benty for that spot. £58 million. What do you think? So we've just played Notts County in the FA Cup, a third round. We absolutely dominated the game with a fully rotated side, as you could imagine. We ended up winning 4-0 away from home. Juan Insfran ended up starting the game purely down to rotation options and stuff not being available. He opened the scoring in the 22nd minute. Darius Courtney started up front as well and managed to bag himself a hat-trick even while missing a penalty. Once the second half kicked off, nothing else really happened. Well, trying to upset Rudy Mion and make him maybe try and lower his price a little bit. He's decided to request to be removed from the transfer list, so the chances of him signing this window definitely pretty much gone, I would imagine now. 108 million, I'm not spending that much money. Saya, I'm trying to do the same to him, try and upset him a little bit. It's probably not going to happen this window either, but we'll keep making daft offers. 30 million, we'll make the offer. You never know. Maybe one of these days he'll kick up a fuss. Interesting. So Jayden Bogle, obviously you're not seeing much from him. He's our right back, English. Wolves came in with an inquiry. I said 15 million, even though he's only valued at 4, and they've sort of just accepted it, no bother whatsoever. The issue we've got there is bringing in a replacement. Obviously, with them being English and us not being able to register more than is it 18 foreign players. It means if we were to replace them, it's got to be someone who is not a foreign player, basically. Although it doesn't. We've only got 15 foreign players now. It's squad it's saying now. Why? It's because Carlos Julio's homegrown. And Barlow. Gravenberch is homegrown now. maybe there's options here because we do have a player out on loan who I can recall. We're going to actually accept that offer now from Wolves. Haven't seen that. Can you remember him? He went out on loan to Porto, Romanian right back. I had views of him actually being our first choice right back for this season, but just due to the registration rules, we couldn't really get him in. Valentin. Aye, him. What could recall him? I'll put the option in to recall him right now. We'll wait and see if Jayden Bogle actually accepts the offer from Wolves before we recall him, because I don't want to get him stuck in the squad when we don't really need him. Mbolo has decided to sign for FC Porto for £26.5 million. So basically we've signed Insfran for £7 million plus Mbolo. That's absolutely fine by me. And another new signing, Veerman, is joining the club for £25.5 million. Sevilla came in with a late offer. They offered, I don't know how much they offered in wages, but they offered the same amount of money and got it accepted. So it was between us and Sevilla, and he has decided to join Brighton, which is absolutely fantastic. We'll get him registered with the squad as soon as possible and get him some game time. He will be playing second fiddle to Sebastian Lloris for the time being until he starts improving, but we'll get him as much game time as we can, and we'll see how that goes. We've just played Manchester United in the first leg of our League Cup semi-final. We played a fully rotated squad and sort of paid the price. Lisandro Martinez put them in front inside 10 minutes, and that's how the game finished. Obviously a fully rotated side from us, so I'm not overly concerned about the League Cup, to be honest with you. We've still got the second leg at home, which we'll probably will play a full strength side to see if we could potentially make up the difference. Veerman did actually start that game, our new right midfielder. Insfran came on instead of Alvarado with 10 minutes or so to go. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be today, but I'm not bothered. Yeah, we've already met the board's expectations, so if we get knocked out, it's one less game to play late in the season. In terms of the other new signing that joined, Tamri, he has been trying to get him loan game time out. Sporting Lisbon have came in, and I think that will be a great place for him to get first time football, so hopefully he will accept that offer and leave the club in January. And here we are getting 15 million for Jayden Bogle, which I think is an absolutely great fee. We did accept like a £20 million offer, I think it was either this summer or last summer, and he ended up not leaving, but he is now joining Wolves, which means we will be recalling Valentin, our Romanian right back from Porto, and he will be going to the first team squad, probably ahead of Thomas Tavares. We've just played Watford in the Premier League, back to a full strength side, and we absolutely smashed them 4-0. Gravenberch put us in front, Ibrahim with 1, and Diogo Aquino with 2 late goals, making it 4-0. Valentin did start at right back and had a great game. Insfran started left wing and had a good game himself. I don't think it's possible for one of your first 11 not to have a good game when you're winning 4-0 away from home. We've got one more game to go in the first part of this January transfer period. There is some workings going on in the background in terms of loan players going out. We haven't really got anything in the fire in terms of players coming in right now. The two players who were after, the left mid and the centre midfielder, both pretty much being priced out for this transfer window. I am still looking potentially for a centre back, and I'm always looking for English players as well. So it's not all over in terms of the next part of January transfer window. Pedro Sá has agreed to leave the club to Spal. He's been sitting now under 23s. Go out and loan in Serie A and see what he can do. Hopefully increase his value. He's not somebody who I anticipate making it at the first team squad. Just someone who will make some decent profit on. So we've just played the final game in today's episode, which was a home game against Everton. We won 2-0. Ryan Gravenberch with both goals. Unfortunately for us, pretty much all of our South American players were away on international duty, playing in the under-23s for their respective countries. I think it was the Olympic Games qualification. I'm not sure how long that's lasting for. I think we'll have to quickly take a check for that. Hopefully they're back before the next game. Probably not. But ideally, we would have them back as soon as, because they're pretty much all first team players. So looking forward to the next episode. We've got 4 games to go through. We will probably live comm either Man United or Southampton. I haven't quite decided yet. It'll probably be the Manchester United game. You know, it's a cup game in a semi-final. We're down 1 goal. Maybe we can bring that back and qualify for the final. In terms of transfers and stuff, we've still got £120 million to spend. We haven't spent all that much. We will look to get loan players from the under-23s out and get them first team game time for the rest of the season. And I'll also be scouting for more influx of youth players in particular. In terms of first team signings, I've been searching. There isn't really that many that are available for a reasonable price and would actually join the club. So looking forward to the next episode. We will wrap up the January transfer window. If you have enjoyed today's video, please consider leaving a like, and if you are enjoying my content, get yourself subscribed. But until next time, take it easy.